Up next is UCF head coach Josh Heupel. UCF is 3-0 overall, 2-0 in the American Athletic Conference. 1-0 in the American Athletic Conference. The Knights were back in action last week against Florida Atlantic. UCF won the game 56-36. UCF is back at home Saturday against Pitt at Spectrum Stadium in Orlando, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. As we mentioned at the top of the call, Mackenzie Milton of UCF is the Americans' Offensive Player of the Week. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call this week. If you take a minute to tie up the game against FAU, please. And we expect to see you as you're back at home Saturday against Pitt.
Yeah, obviously excited with the week. Again, our goal is to go 1-0, and our players did that. I'm excited about the way we played offensively. Mackenzie had a great game, did a great job with his feet, and having 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Thought we did a good job up front of protecting him and creating some running lanes. And defensively played really well on the night. Excuse me. Forced 3 turnovers again. Special teams had some things that gave a fake punt and some things we need to correct moving into this ball game. But liked the way we competed and excited about getting back on the field, Saturday afternoon against Pitt.
Any questions for Coach Josh Heupel, please press *1 on your keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
Thank you. We will take our first question from Jerry DiPaola of Pittsburgh Tribune Review newspaper.
Good afternoon, Coach. Thanks for your time. I was wondering about your quarterback, Mackenzie Milton, and some of the hype that's surrounding him. How is he handling that, and is it appropriate to put his name and Heisman in the same sentence when we're talking about him?
Mackenzie's a special player. He's absolutely worthy of that discussion. You look at the way he played a year ago, what he's doing this year. Extremely smart. Is able to use his feet to extend and make plays in the running game or throw on scrambles down the field. Accurate, strong arm, quick release. I've worked with a couple of Heisman Trophy winning guys. This guy's a special player, and excited about what he's doing just as far as being a leader for our football team.
You say you worked with some Heisman Trophy guys. Who were they?
Yeah, Sam Bradford, Jason White.
How did you? What was the recruiting process like? Getting him to come from Hawaii.
I was not involved in that. That was done by the previous staff.
Oh, before your time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can now take our next question from Chris Vanini of The Athletic.
Coach, what does it mean to have Pitt, an ACC team, coming to Orlando, and the opportunity, especially after the North Carolina game was canceled?
Yeah, great opportunity for us again on national TV. Really good opponent that plays at a high level, and so again, it's important for us because of the opponent, and also because it's the next game on our schedule. And again, I think the thing that we're trying to get accomplished with our kids is just to focus on the job at hand and realize that we're only as good as our next opponent, next game.
And what did the FAU win mean locally? Obviously, that was one of the biggest games I think of the year, probably. And what did that mean?
Big win in part, like I just said, because it was the only game we got to play that week, and we want to focus on that. I thought our kids handled the initial adversity during the course of the ball game when the score flipped on us, and we're calm, mature competitors. That's important to see. First time I've been in that situation with our team. Like the way they responded, and it was a big win because that was the game of the week. So we're excited about that one. But moving on to Pitt, big test with Pitt. They're big, strong, physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Really good in special teams. Good kicker, good returner, and so it'll be a test for us in all 3 phases.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you. We can now take our next question from Dan Tortora of WakeUpCallDT.com.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
Good.
To go a little bit deeper into Mackenzie Milton, just what you can say about what makes him special leadership-wise. I mean, we know he's talented on the field, but from poise to studying film to how he is, in the locker room, the things that we can't see, just what you can say about those big pieces. When
you first meet him, me just coming in December, very calm demeanor. about himself. Very, laid back demeanor. At the same time, when you get him in a competitive situation, I'm talking in the weight room, in the film room, or out on the practice field, every rep he's dialed into mentally and physically. He's very competitive in all those situations. Great players are always that way, and I think he does a great job. Just like out on the practice field, or if he's watching film with the entire offense of the wide receiver group in particular, he does a really good job of communicating specific details as far as what he's thinking or what he wants from those guys in a very positive way. And I think that's why they take, his constructive criticism or correction or coaching, in such a positive way.
Your team has found success early on here in the season, in your first season at UCF, with a lot of these guys that had come in before and were recruited by the other staff. What can you say about their connection to you and how quickly that came together? Was it positive from day one, in your opinion? Because you've been able to take a lot of these players that were there a season prior and to continue to have success with them despite the fact that you weren't the coach that was going out there recruiting them. So just what you can say about the relationship and how quickly that kind of connected.
I think relationships always take time. We came in and, I spoke to, what I was going to be about and how I was going to interact with them every day and the consistency that I wanted to have. But I also told them that, those words speak a lot louder than actions, or actions speak a lot louder than words, And as we went through, off-season training, then into spring ball, each phase of our program, there's a little bit of uneasiness because they don't know what each day is going to be like. But once they saw, what our daily routine was going to be like, they found a groove and found consistency in how we interacted, communicated with them on a daily basis. We spent a lot of time trying to build trust and build relationships because we haven't sat in their living room before, whether it's team barbecues, going to SeaWorld together, going to Orlando Magic game. Every player's been over to my house to eat dinner. They've been with their position coaches 2 to 3 times. We've spent a lot of time. We had a team softball game. We've spent a lot of time outside of the game of football just trying to get to know each other because that matters, and that's what real relationships are all about. And so I think the juniors and the seniors on this team that have gone through transition once before helped ease the transition, understanding how quickly you got to buy into it for it to be successful. And so that's helped with the young kids that maybe were just recruited by the previous staff, and this is their first change. So our leadership's been really good. We've given them ownership inside of our program and try to make sure that they have input on the things that matter to them as well.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We can now take our next question from Brian Batko of Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Josh, what stands out to you about your left guard, Tyler Hudanik? He's a Pittsburgh kid who gets to face his hometown team this weekend in Pitt.
Yeah, tough, physical, highly competitive. He wants to be a coach and is going to be a great coach. Understands the game from up front. He's a great leader for us on and off the field. So I think all those things encompass everything we would want in an offensive lineman or in a player and a teammate here inside of our program.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep.
Take one more for Coach Heupel, please.
We can now take our next question from Chris Fanini of The Athletic.
Coach, what would a game, a win against an ACC team like Pitt, or what do these games mean for not only the conference's, reputation as it tries to push itself, but also your program as well?
Our conference has had a bunch of big wins this season. They have a bunch of big wins every season. This conference can play with anybody on any Saturday. I think that's the global view that I would have about this conference and us playing against other good conferences. At the end of the day, for us inside of our program, it's about our daily routine. It's about focusing on going 1-0. Pitt's the biggest game on our schedule because it's the next game on our schedule, and that's all we got to worry about and control what we can control, which is today.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Coach, thanks so much for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.
All right.